Hey guys, welcome to The Interval, the greatest new sports show to ever exist. I'm your host, Epic, and this is episode one. If you guys haven't watched episode zero, which basically just explains how this is going to go, a link to that will be down in the description below. I highly recommend you check that out. And basically, what this is just basically me a show talking about what's going on in sports now. Right now, as I'm filming this, it's August 23rd, and we're going to go straight into the main subject right now, which is NASCAR, the main thing this channel is really known for, because the New Hampshire race just happened, the Dollar Tree 301. We're going to talk about it briefly, and then we're going to go into the other leagues, see what's going on there. NASCAR, we had two races at New Hampshire this weekend. The first was the truck race, which was the chase cutoff for the top 10 drivers to make it into the chase. And there was an insane tightening battle with the drivers fighting for the bubble. We had what's it called? Tyler Ankrum, Daniel Hemrick, and Stuart Friesen and Jake Garcia all fighting for the last spots in the chase. For most of the time, Ankrum was just struggling horribly with brake issues. It was really bad. He was struggling outside the top 20 for most of the race. And Stuart Friesen, he was looking at a redemption tour because of what happened last year. Won at Michigan, so he locked himself into the old playoff format, but then he got hurt, so he had to miss the rest of the season. And the replacement driver he had took him all the way to the championship race. He was almost going to make it. He took two tires, got out to the front, led a bunch of laps, ended out finishing the race in a strong fourth position. It just wasn't enough. Jake Garcia ran as well, really strong, jumped inside the top 15, was as far as 2 points out of the chase spot. Same with Friesen. But Tyler Ankrum, after all those brake issues, he was doing horrible on the restarts. Well, on the final restart, a bunch of trucks pitted, a bunch of random drivers pitted for fresh tires, and basically got gifted a bunch of free spots. Eventually made the chase by, I believe it was 6 points in the end when it was all said and done. And yeah, the top 10 in the chase will be Lane Riggs, who won his sixth race of the season as the one seed, Caden Honeycutt, Chandler Smith, Christian Eckes, Gio Ruggiero, Ty Majeski, my boy, Grant Infinger, Daniel Hemrick, Ben Rhodes, and Tyler Ankrum. I personally think Tyler Ankrum really didn't deserve to make the chase, and kudos to him for admitting in the post-race interview they were not racing like they deserved to make in the chase. They had all those pit stop issues, the brake issues. They couldn't diagnose what was going on with the 18 truck. And yeah, he barely squeaked it in. But if he missed this chase, that would have been a massive disappointment considering he made it all the way to the championship 4 race last year, finished fourth in the standings. That would have been extremely underwhelming for the 18 teams. So luckily he was able to barely make the chase, bare minimum. He's had a mediocre year. He's only had 5 top 10s and 1 top 5 coming at Nashville. And he's finished 11th or worse in the previous 5 races. So previous 5 races, 25th, 19th, 9th, 11th, and 16th. Friesen's had 4 top 10s in the last 5 races. Garcia's only had 1, but he's been a little bit more consistent, but he was already closer to the cut line than Ankrum was already. Anyway, that race, even though Riggs kind of dominated, the race was extremely entertaining, passing all throughout, and I had a lot of fun with it, even though Riggs pretty much dominated. But this did not translate to the Cup race. The Cup race, it was extremely dull, not a lot going on, but there was a bright spot. Josh Berry was the bright spot of this race, believe it or not. A couple weeks ago, if you guys haven't noticed, if you guys didn't know, Josh Berry was announced that he would not be coming back to the Wood Brothers 21 car full time in 2027. He will be replaced by the 2025 then Xfinity Series champion Jesse Love. And Berry since then has had finishes of 7th, 4th, 8th, and 3rd now at New Hampshire, which was arguably his best career race since his Vegas win last year, leading like 70 laps, finishing in 3rd behind Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney, who we'll get to in a moment. Josh Berry, I read somewhere because I was on a reaction live stream video earlier today. Josh Berry became the first Wood Brothers driver since Morgan Shepherd back in 1994 to get 4 straight finishes inside the top 10. Over 30 years have passed since a driver on that team has finished in the top 10 in 4 straight races. That is absolutely insane. Berry, I mean, he's 30th in points because he's had 1 top 10 before this insane stretch, but hey, man, I can't deny it. These amazing races so far. And I hope he can find a good cup ride next year, a cup ride next year. If not, hopefully a top tier ride in the O'Reilly series. He was doing pretty solid there. As for the winner, Ryan Blaney managed to score his 20th career win by winning here at New Hampshire. He also won stage 2, so he got 70 points. The point standings haven't been updated yet as I'm filming this, but he probably closed in on Hamlin a little bit. As of the most recent update, he was like 115 points back. He'll probably be closer to 100 because Hamlin finished in 7th. But Blaney, 20th career win, has been amazing. His last few finishes have been a little bit inconsistent. 11th at North Wilkesboro, 26th at Indianapolis, 3rd at Iowa, 13th at Richmond. Of course, the win tonight here at New Hampshire. But previously, he had the win at Atlanta, and then he was on a streak of 7 straight top 10s, which was predicated by an 11th and a 10th. He's been insanely consistent all year. His second win of the season. He closes in on Hamlin and is definitely Ford's best threat to win the championship. I mean, Ford has only won 4 races this year, 2 of them coming with Blaney, the other 2 with Logano, who sits 9th in the standings or something like that now. But yeah, New Hampshire was extremely dull, in the Cup Series. Carson Hocevar was a menace, but he wasn't even running up front, so it was just kind of annoying. He should have been parked or something. He was just wrecking every 3 seconds. But yeah, Carson Hocevar, he finished somewhere all the way in the back around I think, actually, no, he didn't finish in the back. He had a top 20 finish, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, speaking of drivers that struggled, Chase Elliott, I think he had a sub-top 25 finish, just a mediocre run. Byron finished 30th after the wheel came off, and he wrecked toward the end. Riley Herbst eventually wrecked. He was running in the top 10 for some reason. Ross Chastain officially eliminated from chase contention, I'm pretty sure, with a 36th place finish. Another driver that ran really well today, Ryan Preece. He was running in the top 5 for a bit, and he ended up finishing 9th. Bubba Wallace was right behind Blaney before he locked up with just a few laps to go. He finishes in 2nd, still looking for his first win of the season, and his first win since the Brickyard 400 yet last year. But yeah, that's pretty much how NASCAR has been this weekend. As for the O'Reilly series, they didn't have a race this weekend. Their last race was Iowa on August 8th. So that was around 2 weeks ago, where Carson Kvapil got his 2nd straight win. Justin Allgaier is like 200 points ahead, dude. He's gone. There's one more race until the chase in that series at Daytona, which is also the chase cutoff race for the Cup Series. So stay tuned for that. And as for the other series in NASCAR, the ARCA series, the last race was at the Illinois State Fairgrounds. Max Reeves was just a maniac, just wrecking everyone. That's why I don't like him, and I don't think anybody else does. I haven't met a single Max Reeves fan anywhere. So yeah, he's annoying. But Jake Bowman still leads the points there by 7 over Thomas Annunziata. Isabella Robusta is like over 100 points behind Annunziata. So it's basically just going to be the top 2. Jason Kitzmiller and Takuma Kogo round out the top 5 in that series standings. As for the ARCA Series East, Isaac Kitzmiller, still looking for his first career win, managed to finish in 5th here at Iowa, which was the previous race. Tristan McKee leads the points by 2 points over Max Reeves heading into their season finale at Bristol, which is going to be sometime in September, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. September 17th is going to be their last race at Bristol. I'm pretty sure the top 3 in contention, Isaac Kitzmiller is what is that? 18 points behind Tristan McKee, but he probably will need something to happen. He's still looking for his first career win as the defending champion in that series. As for the ARCA Series West, Trevor Huddleston still leads with 5 races to go. He's got a 18-point gap over Mason Massey, who got his 2nd win at Portland. Couple of, what was that? Their last race was August 8th. So yeah, a couple weeks ago as well. But Trevor Huddleston looking to get back-to-back championships there. And the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour had another good race in New Hampshire. They were before the truck race, actually. John McKennedy got his 3rd win on the season. The 2022 champ now has a grand total of, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 career wins in the series. And he looks like he's making a comeback for the first time since his championship. Austin Beers, the defending series champion, still looking for his first win on the season, leads the points by 1 because points leader Patrick Emmerling failed to finish the last race at New Hampshire, while the rest of the top 5 are Stephen Kopig and Matt Hirschman. Of course, we still have the tire boycott going on with what's it called? The American Racer Tires. The main drivers, Justin Bonsignore and Ron Silk, are the biggest drivers in this boycott that decided to withdraw from the series after the 5th race at Riverhead. Bonsignore, of course, we all know is a 4-time champion in that series. Ron Silk is a 2-time champion. Bonsignore's championships 18, 20, 21, and 24, and he came runner-up last year. So he's a big driver with how many career wins? 48 career wins for Justin Bonsignore, while Silk is the 2011 and 2023 champion with 30 career wins to his name. So pretty big names. Opting out of the modified tour races, choosing for some local track scenes because of the American Racer tire boycott they're having right now because Hoosier left the modified tour, and that was the first time since 1999 that they haven't had a Hoosier racing tires. The final NASCAR series I go over is the Canada series, where Marc-Antoine Camirand has gotten his 7th win on the 11 races so far run the season, has an 80-something point lead over 3-time champ LP Dumoulin, who hasn't won a single race since his last championship in 2021. Kevin Lacroix sits 3rd in points, DJ Kennington 4th, while Connor Bell sits in 5th. Lacroix failed to finish the last 2 races, and it's just been struggling. The Canada Series has been struggling with low car counts in the field. So yeah, hopefully that will get better. But moving on to the next series, we're going to look at the NFL briefly. The NFL has been in its preseason so far. I don't know about you, but I don't follow the preseason too much. I watch a couple of the games here and there because of just to see how the rosters are going. The last few games that happened yesterday, Cowboys beating the Cardinals 34-13. I don't even know who was starting for the Cardinals that game. It looks like it was Gardner Minshew, not Carson Beck. So yeah. And it looks like we're just going to see a little bit more of that. The last games before that, Buccaneers beating Chiefs by 1, 16-15. Patriots and Eagles won by 3. The Patriots won by 3 over the Eagles yesterday. The Bengals beat the Bears 27-9. The Rams beating the Saints 34-zip with Stetson Bennett at quarterback for the Rams. And the other games that also had that day as well, Giants beating the Dolphins by 23 points, Ravens beating the Vikings 13-3, Bills beating the Browns 31-7, Falcons 34-6, my Lions 17-13 were the games that happened the previous day, because again, I'm filming this August 23rd. Now again, the preseason, I don't focus too much because of all the rosters going on, but there's some pretty big stories going on. Ashton Genty it's been released that he exited his practice for the Raiders early today because of an apparent knee injury. That is going to be big for the superstar running back from Boise State. In his 2nd season, he got hurt, so that's pretty bad. Deshaun Watson, also, he's a crazy guy. He is not happy about the boos he is getting from his own fans, his own team's fans. I would boo him as well, so I'm pretty sure that doesn't really matter. But other than that, George Kittle's also off the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, so he seems to be healthy. The Browns starting quarterback is going to be announced soon, whether it's going to be Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders. I don't like any of them, by the way. Michael Penix is cleared to return. Nick Chubb is announcing his retirement. He already announced his retirement, but Nick Chubb, who's been struggling with severe health issues for the last few years after being one of the top backs in the NFL, has announced his retirement after 8 seasons. He was a 4-time Pro Bowler from 2019 to 2022. He was a 2nd-team All-Pro in 2022. He played for the Browns for his first 7 seasons, where he had 4 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. In his rookie year, he had 996. In 2022's best year, 12 touchdowns on 1,500 rushing yards. And after that, it was just downhill. He tore his ACL in the 2nd game of the 2023 season. That was never the same. Only played about half the 2024 season. Got traded to the Texans last year, where he only got 122 carries for 506 rushing yards. And although he played in the playoffs for them, it was just never the same. Nick Chubb retiring from the NFL. I mean, it's at age 30. It's a common age for running backs, but it's crazy how they just come and go. 8 seasons for Nick Chubb. Half of them, he was in the Pro Bowl. He retires from the NFL after being one of the top backs just a few years ago. For the rest of the NFL, I guess I can go for some small predictions. I think the Rams are going to be the favorites to win the Super Bowl. I mean, it's amazing. You got the reigning MVP, Matthew Stafford. I'm a huge Detroit Lions fan, and I was so happy for Matthew Stafford after he left Detroit. Of course, I was sad to see him go back then, but hey, I was happy to see what he did after because he deserves so much better in Detroit. Only 3 playoff appearances, no playoff wins. Goes out, wins the Super Bowl with the Rams his first year. Has his best season last year. What was their record? Like 14-3 or something. Let me see. You had the Rams last year going a 12-5. Okay. And they lost the NFC Championship to the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks were going to get maybe 9 or 10 wins. I don't see them being insanely strong like they were last year. They might still win their division. I don't think they could win. I mean, I don't think they'll lose their division, but the 2026 NFL season is going to be an interesting one. Hopefully, it's not as ridiculous. Last year had too many injuries personally. I just personally wouldn't want that. And let me see, what do the whatchamacallit, I want to see what the regulars. Okay, here are the divisions. As for the AFC East, I think the Patriots are going to win again. Maybe not 14 wins, but maybe they'll get good 12. It's going to be close between them and the Bills. Dolphins are going to be the bottom of the entire league. Jets as well. As for the AFC North, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a strong offense from both the Steelers and the Bengals. It depends on Joe Burrow is healthy or not in the Bengals. I think they could get a good 10-win season if Burrow is healthy. The Steelers, man, is all going to come down to their quarterback. Aaron Rodgers for his final season. If he plays well, maybe the backups can get some playing time. Drew Aller and Will Howard are showing a lot of promise on the preseason games. The Ravens, bro, I don't even know about the Ravens. I mean, Lamar Jackson's a dual threat, but they don't got a lot of wide receivers. So I don't really know how that's going to go. As for the Browns, yeah, it's the Browns, dude. Like, Joe Flacco was their last saving grace, and that was 3 years ago. The AFC South, dude, I low-key do not care about this division at all. But I think the Texans are going to win this division. It just depends on if the CJ Stroud can command the offense at a consistent rate. The Jaguars, maybe they can get a good 10 wins or maybe 9 wins. I don't know how the Colts are going to do. The Titans, all they got to focus on is just improving with Cam Ward because last year was a full-on development year, definitely with only a 3-win season. The AFC West, the Broncos are going to be the team to beat. Bo Nix is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL. I think it's criminal that they only rated him an 81 in this year's Madden game. That is absolutely horrendous. They would have definitely made it to the Super Bowl had he not got hurt in the last game, the last play of the AFC Championship where he got tackled and messed up his ankle. Jarrett Stidham did a valiant effort trying to lead them to the Super Bowl in that AFC Championship against the Patriots. The snow came down. It was a one-score game, 10-7. That game was hilarious. That game was so fun to watch, even though nobody was scoring. But if it was Bo Nix, they were going to win that game. It's just a shame that he got tackled there on the whatever that last play was before the field goal. The Chargers, I think they will perform well. It's all going to depend on Justin Herbert if he can keep his mind in the game and not on Madison Beer. The Chiefs, dude, the Chiefs are done. The Chiefs have been done since 2024. I still have no idea how the Chiefs managed to get 15 wins in that 2024 season. They should have had 10. Too many one-score games. They got extremely lucky that year. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ that they got blown out in the Super Bowl by that Eagles squad. So I was delighted to see them go 6-11 last year. This year, I think they'll improve. Maybe they'll get 9 wins. I don't know if they can make the playoffs because it's just that offense is extremely questionable. Mahomes' stats are lowering. His ratings are lowering. He's actually not doing as well as he's been doing the last few years. Travis Kelce, I think, would have already retired, but I think he's just getting told to keep playing because of the whole Taylor Swift thing. But hey, those are just my 2 cents. The Raiders, bro. Do I think they're going to do better than last season? Maybe. I think they can get 5 wins this season. If Mendoza can get 5 wins as the first overall pick, I think that will be a definite improvement over whatever the frick happened last year. Geno Smith got paid like $200 million, and what did he throw? 29 interceptions, some ridiculous number like that. That's the most since like Jameis Winston did in 2019. And it's just been like, wow, absolutely insane. And I hope that Mendoza can do good. You know what I'm saying? As for the rest of the team, Genty, hopefully this knee issue from practice isn't too big of an issue and he can remain healthy because he was great back last year. Obviously, his college numbers were insane at Boise State. What he had, like 2,800 yards and like 30. It was insane. Um, yeah, but that's pretty much it for the AFC. The Eagles in the NFC East, they're probably going to win. I think the Giants are getting way too overhyped, personally. Um, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're getting a little way too overhyped. That's just my thing. That's my opinion on that. Cam Scatterboot is going to get himself killed. Everybody knows that. Jackson Dart, I still think just needs a little bit more development at quarterback. They got Malik Neighbors. They have a good offensive line. Their defense is looking amazing. Brian Burns, and a couple of other Derek Brown, and a couple of other. I think it's Derek Brown, right? Yeah, their defense is nasty, man. That defense is definitely going to be a top unit. The Washington Commanders, dude. I think Jaden Daniels was a 1-year wonder, dude. I do not think he's doing anything anymore after what happened in 24. The last year was just bad for them. They had all the injury issues and whatnot, and Terry McLaurin's getting up there in age, so I don't think they're going to be doing anything well this year. The Cowboys suck. I hate them, and I hope they don't do anything this year. And they do not look like they're doing anything this year. CeeDee Lamb is wasting his time on a really trashy team, so that's that's what I think of the Cowboys. As for the NFC North, Detroit, all the way. We just got to not get hurt. That's my team right there. We got to not get hurt. I think last year by like week 14, everyone on the defense was a second stringer. It was absolutely horrible how bad our injury issues were last year. 9-8, and we were at the bottom of the division. Absolutely insane. It's just probably the most competitive division in football. They're definitely going to beat the Vikings. I could definitely see the Detroit going for 12, 13 wins this season if everything remains healthy for the team and Dan Campbell doesn't go for it on 4th down at our own 13-yard line in the first quarter and we're up by 10. All right? Hopefully that doesn't happen. The Packers are going to be a good playoff team. They're pretty strong on defense. The offense is a little questionable with their wide receiver core, but Jordan Love is a pretty solid quarterback. The Bears, I don't know what the heck they were on last year. They might make the playoffs this year. I feel like they're a big question mark team. Depends on how Caleb Williams does as the cover athlete for Madden and see if the curve sits him or not. As for the NFC South, I don't know what the heck happened last year. The Panthers made it with an 8-9 record. The division was straight garbage. I don't even know how the Panthers made it last year, but the NFC South, the Buccaneers are going to make it this year. They had some injury issues. I think Baker missed a few games. Baker Mayfield, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the entire league. He's going to lead them to a good 11 wins this season. Panthers are not making it. I don't know what that was last year. Falcons are still in that weird state of limbo where they have a pretty solid quarterback, but mad inconsistent play. They haven't been able to make it to the playoffs since 2017. The Saints, dude, that team is the most mysterious to me. Tyler Shuck and the Chris Olave and all those guys. I have no idea how they're going to do. Maybe they're a playoff team. Maybe they're not. I have a feeling we'll find out by week 4, though. And finally, for the NFC West, the Rams are going to win this division. There's no way the Seahawks are going to win. These predictions are probably going to they're probably going to be horrible. The Seahawks definitely are going to make the playoffs again. I mean, if they don't, I wouldn't think that's the craziest thing in the world, though. Sam Darnold at quarterback, and hey, he established himself as a top quarterback after leading them to the Super Bowl, but it's still Sam Darnold, and he still, I'm pretty sure, has tendencies to become his 2019 self again. As for the 49ers, don't get hurt. Nick Bosa, don't get hurt. Your team will be doing good. The Cardinals, they're the Cardinals, bro. I don't really know what to say. I don't know what you want me to say. The Cardinals are the Cardinals. They're going to continue to be trying to develop their quarterbacks. I don't even know who their starter is. It's either going to be Carson Beck or is Jacoby Brissett still on the team? I don't even remember, dude. But yeah, that's how the NFL is looking. And let's stay in the college football landscape. We're going to go to college football because this is something I've been extremely excited for this year. Their first games, I'm pretty sure that's week 0, starts on August 29th. The first game is going to be UNC versus TCU. The first few games are going to be a couple of just non-ranked teams. I'm just going to go over not really the schedules too much. I'm going to go over how the rankings for the preseason look because they came out a couple of days ago. So the top 25 that were announced in the AP poll: Ohio State's number one, no surprise there. Oregon's number two. That's my team right there. I hope they be doing good. Dante Moore, we got him back for another year. I'm very excited for that. Hopefully our running backs can continue to ball out and our wide receivers, and we just got to get our defense, got to work on them linebackers more and get some more interceptions. We can freaking lock in, bro. Georgia ranked number three. Another, not surprised to see another high SEC team in there, especially with like Georgia. Notre Dame ranked four was definitely an interesting one for me. They were not as good last season, but I guess they had a really solid recruiting class. They always have a really solid recruiting class. What the heck is up with my English? So they're going to do good. Texas ranked five is interesting. Last year, they were ranked one in the preseason with Arch Manning. They ended up falling unranked during the mid portion of the season, fought back to, I think, ranked 17th or 16th at the end of the season. So, yeah, Arch Manning's got to play well this year. Is he a junior this year? I think he might be a junior. So, we'll see how that goes. Indiana ranked number 6 as the defending national champions. They're definitely going to take a step down because their quarterback has gone to the NFL in Fernando Mendoza. So hopefully Indiana can just keep up and try to make the college football playoff. Miami, the national championship runner-up, in 7th. I have no idea who their quarterback is. I think it's a sophomore. I don't remember his name. But Malachi Tony, I'm pretty sure, is still in the team. He would definitely be a Heisman favorite. Number 8, Texas A&M. I don't even remember who their quarterback is, but they had a great, I forgot his name, man. Damn, hold up. What's this guy's name? Hold up. I got to find out. Who's Texas A&M's quarterback? Texas A&M QB. That is going to be, Marcel Reed. Yeah, how could I forget about Marcel Reed? Yeah, Marcel Reed is an absolute dog. He's definitely going to be a top player this year at quarterback. Ole Miss, we have Trinidad coming into year number 19 of college. Ranked number 9, Ole Miss. I don't like this team solely because Eli Manning came out of it, and I cannot stand Eli Manning as a Tom Brady fan. So hopefully they do nothing this year, but that's not going to happen. Oklahoma ranked 10 is going to be an interesting one. It's all going to come down to John Mateer and if he can stay healthy at quarterback. He's definitely one of the top quarterbacks in college football. He just needs to keep himself healthy and not get hurt. I think he's gotten injuries every single season he's played at quarterback so far. LSU ranked number 11, another top SEC team. They're going to have a top defense. The quarterback room is Garrett, whatever his name is, quarterback. I'm pretty sure he's going to be a pretty good quarterback. Let me just make sure I get this name right. LSU's quarterback is Sam Levitt. Sam Levitt, yeah. He's going to be a pretty solid QB. He just needs to tone the inconsistency down. Texas Tech, Big 12 champions from last year, ranked number 12. They're going to be a solid team. Brandon Sorsby was their quarterback, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know what's happening with him with all these contract issues going on or whatever. So we'll see how that's going to work. Alabama ranked 13. It's been a weird time to be an Alabama watcher since Nick Saban left. It's been 3 years of just randomness. I don't even think they were ranked last year at the end. I think they got lost 4 games or something, or maybe that was 2024. But yeah, they're ranked number 13. USC, BYU, Michigan, 14, 15, 16. USC is going to be an interesting with Jaden Mava as quarterback. BYU, Garrett Lussmeyer, I think, is their quarterback. After what I saw in the Big 12 championship game, dude, I have no faith in their offense. Michigan ranked number 16 as the 2023 national champions. It's been a weird quarterback spiral for them since their national championship and Jim Harbaugh leaving to join the NFL as the head coach for the Chargers. Washington 17, Penn State at 18. I have no idea how Penn State is still ranked because they treat their players insanely weird. That's a very weird program they have going on at Penn State for the Nittany Lions. SMU 19, they had a great season last year. Tennessee at 20, I feel like they're always up there, but I don't feel like they actually do much during the season. But they always rank top 25 with consistent play. Utah at 21, Iowa 22. They lost, I think, 4 games last year and were still ranked at the end of the regular season. They're ranked 22. Houston 23. Lamar Jackson's alma mater, Louisville, is 24, and Missouri rounds out the top 25. I don't really have much to say about those teams because I don't ever really followed them too much. But a big team that I don't see up here is Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt ended the season number 10 in the rankings last year. I think they only lost 2 games. They lost Diego Pavia, who decided to go to the NFL, didn't even get drafted, signed by the Ravens, and then got waived by the Ravens for some tight end. I don't even know who it is. So yeah, Vanderbilt. I always love watching Vanderbilt. They're like the trash team they're like the trash team in the SEC, similar how Purdue is in the Big Ten. But yeah, hopefully Vanderbilt can bounce back, and that's what I think on college football. As for, let's look at the NBA now. Y'all know what team I'm looking for, bro. The New York Knicks. I think the New York Knicks are the favorites to go back to back in the NBA championship this year. They are going to have an amazing season, I hope. It's going to be between them and the 76ers and the Pistons for the Eastern Conference. I think the Knicks can get it done this year. Because what did they have? They had 53 wins last year, the Knicks. I think they can go for 60 this year. They already have the championship momentum going on. All the Brunson hate is now going to be fueled in, and Brunson's going to lock in. Karl Anthony Towns going to be a dog. OG Anunoby going to be a dog. Josh Hart going to be a dog. And who's the fifth starter, bro? Mikal Bridges. They're all going to be dogs. I know I'm biased. Knicks all the way. Let's go back to back. Anyway, let's not be biased for a couple seconds. Other than the New York Knicks, the Detroit Pistons, and the Philadelphia 76ers definitely going to be the biggest players in the Eastern Conference. We all know what happened to the Sixers. LeBron James is on the Philadelphia 76ers. This is my favorite non-New York team, and I'm not a LeBron James fan. So I had no idea how to feel about this. LeBron, this is definitely going to be the last team he's going to be on in his career. I don't know when he's going to retire. I hope he does, because he's just prolonging his career, and they're giving him free all-star selections when he does not deserve it. I think that his first game is going to be against Bronny. Bronny, I never liked his play. But we'll see. That's going to be a big game, especially for them. But the Sixers front five is going to look insane. What do they have? They have LeBron, Embiid, Maxey, Jaylen Brown, and I forgot their fifth starter, but that starting five looks insane. It's all going to come down to the chemistry on this team, because you can have all the talent in the world. Just look at the 2021-22 Lakers. They had AD, LeBron, Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, and I forgot who the fifth starter was. And they had 33 wins. They were garbage. And so hopefully they can have good chemistry, because I want to see my Sixers, well, not my Sixers, but I would like to see the Sixers get a championship someday. They haven't made the finals since 2001. As for the Detroit Pistons, they are coming alive after those last 2 years before. Remember those 2 years? They had like under 20 wins 2 years in a row. That 1 year where they lost 28 games in a row. They lost every game in a month. Like, it was abysmal to be a Pistons watcher at that time. Cade Cunningham, I always said he was going to be a great great stud. He has proven that 5 years in as the 2021 first overall draft pick. He has turned into a dog, one of the top players in the NBA. They're definitely going to battle for the Eastern Conference crown. I don't know if they're going to be able to back up their 60 wins from last year, but hey, it's going to be good. Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs going to be up there too, but I feel like they're just going to be on that rung just below. The Raptors with Kawhi. Now listen, Kawhi Leonard I always had 3 favorite basketball players growing up. Tim Duncan, who retired soon after I started watching. Blake Griffin, who retired in 2022, right? And Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi's the last one left. The contract salary cap thing going on is absolutely insane. It's mad sketchy. But hey, if Kawhi don't get to play again, at least it's 15 years in, and not when he's like a rookie or just starting off. It's been 15 years, an amazing career, 2 championships. Both of the times he was finals MVP, 2-time defensive player of the year in 15-16. He's always on the defensive first or second teams. He's one of the top defensive players, just top players in the entire NBA, and has been like that since basically his rookie season. He's just been an amazing player. So hopefully the Raptors can get him and this whole thing can get sorted out. But I saw an article that it's probably sorted out already. The Hawks, frick them, they're probably going to suck. I don't really know how they're going to do. The Sixers, another thing, they got to stop with injuries. The Magic, I don't know how to feel about them. I'm just going through the entire Eastern Conference. I don't know how to feel about the Magic. The Hornets, they're going to do horrible now that they don't have LaMelo Ball. So we'll see how that goes. They're probably going to be one of the worst teams in the entire league. I wouldn't be surprised. The Miami Heat, now with Giannis on the team, and now Klay Thompson joining the team, I don't know really how to feel about that team. So Bam, Giannis, and Klay Thompson, I mean, maybe they can battle for a playoff spot. Giannis just needs to remain healthy. If Bam could put up another 83 point performance, that would be historic for them. As for Clay, I don't really know how to feel about Clay. He's been suffering with injuries for the last few years since basically the Cavs sweep in 2018. The Bucks are in disarray. They might suck. I don't really know how to feel about them. The Chicago Bulls have been horrible since like 2013, so I don't really know if anything's really changed. And they were okay with Zach LaVine, to be fair. The Brooklyn Nets, I think they're going to be the worst team in the entire NBA, not just because I'm a Knicks fan. They literally have like nobody there. Like Julius Randle is on that team. That's going to be a bad squad. I think I would be surprised if they even hit 25 wins. I think they might do worse than the 20 wins they had last year. Pacers, they had a horrible fall off because of the Halliburton injury in the 2025 NBA Finals. He's coming back. Hopefully he's the same, can lead him back to a really good record. I don't really know how that's going to go. And the Wizards now looking strong. They got Trae Young and Anthony Davis and somebody else. I forgot who it was. Now let's look in the West. In the West of the NBA, we got the Thunder. It's the Thunder, bro. They're going to be at the top. Probably the best all-around squad in the entire league. Flop City, we'll see what the Thunder does. If they can replicate a 64-win season, they're definitely going to do good. Wembanyama and the Spurs. I always loved the Spurs. Tim Duncan, Mountain Ginobili, Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, Bruce Bowen, Robert Horry, like the Spurs big three of the 2000s is one of my favorite teams to ever watch. I don't like him anymore. Wembanyama's annoying. De'Aaron Fox is garbage. Dylan Harper should be there. And Stephen Castle was the best player through the entire series and sucked in the finals. I don't like him right now. They're probably going to be a top team, but I have a feeling the Spurs are going to become the villains of the NBA. The Nuggets have the Joker. That's all that really matters. I think Jamal Murray's still there, so I don't actually do it. Is Jamal Murray still on the Nuggets? Hold up, bro. Hold up. I got to see. Jamal Murray. Oh, he's still on the Nuggets. Yeah, he's still there. I mean, so maybe they'll have a good record. I don't think they're going to get even close to 54 wins. They might get 50, but I don't think 55 is going to be in the cards. The Lakers, I mean, Luka about to become the face of the franchise. I don't really know what to say. He might put up another 60-point game at some point. Luka Doncic, one of the best European players of all time. He's in that honor with Dirk Nowitzki and who else was a European guy? Dude, I'm blanking so hard right now. The Rockets, Kevin Durant's there. It depends if he wants to play. It depends if Kevin Durant wants to play. The Timberwolves are going to be a big force to reckon with in the Western Conference with Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball. I think that's going to be my favorite duo to watch in the entire NBA this coming season. I'm excited for them. As for the rest of the Western Conference, I honestly could care less, Loki. The Portland Trailblazers, Devin Booker's on the Suns, but it's just him. He's kind of the only one leading the team at this point. The Clippers, Warriors are heavily injury prone, and Curry has been around for almost the entire time I've been alive. So he is going to fall off. He's still one of the best 3-point shooters in the entire league, of course, but he's 35. So he's closing in on that. He's closing in on old age. Pelicans, Mavericks, Grizzlies, Sacramento Kings, and the Utah Jazz round out the rest of the Western Conference. They all had under 27 wins. I don't see any of that changing. That's pretty much all I got to say on the NBA. As for the NHL, there's not really much going on except a lot of big hype for Gavin McKenna and Macklin Celebrini. Macklin Celebrini is going to be a top player within the next 5 years. He might be the face of the NHL, one of the best players already showing through junior hockey, and I have a feeling he'll be a stud. Gavin McKenna as well. The problem is Gavin McKenna's on the Toronto Maple Leafs, so they're probably going to absolutely fall off. Austin Matthews and Gavin McKenna. We'll see how that goes. As for the NHL, they're for some reason obsessed with expanding the league to more teams. They're looking at a 33rd expansion franchise coming around Houston or Austin as the top two most favored locations that they could play by 2029, the 2029-2030 season, according to The Athletic. And the other possible cities that they're looking at, looks like, according to this article, is going to be Houston, Austin, look who else? Portland, and a couple of other random cities, but it's looking like the South, like around the Texas area. Atlanta looking to come back for the first time since the Thrashers left them in 2011. That's going to be interesting. And see, what's it called? The newest team is Seattle, the Seattle Kraken that came in 2021-22. They're looking for a 33rd franchise in the NHL. Their season starts on September 19th, I'm pretty sure. As for MotoGP, we have the next race is next week in Aragon. We'll see how that goes. Raul Fernandez won the last race at Silverstone. MotoGP looking extremely solid. Jorge Martin winning the championship right now by 31 points. And he has one win this season in France, and he's leaving Aprilia at the end of the season to go to freaking Yamaha, who is absolute garbage. Now, they better be making a great bike for next year because they've been absolute garbage with Alex Rins, and what's it called? Fabio Quartararo. They've been absolutely horrible. Jorge Martin leading the championship over his teammate Marco Bezzecchi, who's missed 2 races, but he has 4 wins. Iogura for Trackhouse. Yeah, Trackhouse, the NASCAR team. Their MotoGP team is honestly insane. They've gotten 2 wins this season. Their riders are 3rd and 6th in points. Iogura and Raul Fernandez in that order. Marc Marquez has missed 2 races due to injury. He's still one of the top riders in the entire league. He's got 3 wins this season. Fabio D'Antonio for Ducati's Rossi team, the VR46 racing team. He's got a win in Catalunya. He's 5th in points. Pedro Acosta, the Phenom, still looking for his first MotoGP win. He sits 7th in points, while Francesco Bagnaia, 8th. Alex Marquez in 9th. He got a win, but he's missed a couple races due to injury. Luca Marini rounds out the top 10, while the rest of MotoGP has been a couple of storylines. Alex Rins is leaving Yamaha at the end of the season, and he's going to be replaced, of course, by Jorge Martin. And Fabio Quartararo, the 2021 MotoGP World Champions, also leaving Yamaha at the end of the season for, I think Iogura is going with them. I already forgot. But yeah, they better be doing good next season because, yeah, Fabio's going to Honda. Honda also going to be doing good this season because all the teams I grew up with in MotoGP that dominated, Yamaha and Honda, are the jokes of MotoGP now. Now it's Aprilia and Ducati. Ducati was amazing with Casey Stoner back in the day, and they only got good recently. KTM also just exists in the series. They've got a couple podiums. They've gotten a couple of wins. I think they've gotten 3 wins, I think, in MotoGP. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And as for the rest of sports, we got the coming NASCAR races, and football's looking big, starting up just in a couple of weeks. The NHL starts next month. The NBA is going to be starting soon enough. And as for the MLB, now the MLB is an interesting thing because, oh my gosh, as I'm looking right now, the Cubs are in the bottom of the 9th versus the Mariners, 19-2. And this is the same Mariners team that lost 22-0 against the Milwaukee Brewers. Okay, that's actually insane, bro. That's crazy. The MLB is hard to follow. 162 game regular season. It's really fun to start watching once they get to around the 120 mark. The Rays lead the AL East over the Yankees. The Yankees better freaking make it in. They got a 74-56 record, 3 games behind the Rays. They're probably still going to make the wild card, but they got to hold off the stupid ass Red Sox, who are 71-59 right now. Blue Jays and Orioles suck in that division. The AL Central, the White Sox lead by 3.5 over the Guardians. Twins, Tigers, Royals round out the rest of that division. AL West, the Houston Astros and Texas Rangers tied for the AL West lead at 65-66 record. Mariners 62-68, while the Angels and Athletics are sucking. In the NL, I don't know what's going on in the National League. The National League is absolutely insane. The Braves are at 75-55, leading by 2.5 over the Phillies. And the Braves have had one of the most feared slugging rooms in baseball for the last 10 years. Phillies are in second there. Marlins, Nationals, and Mets round out the rest of the division. Yeah, L Mets. NL Central, probably the most insane team that isn't the Dodgers in the entire league. The Milwaukee Brewers at an 81-49 record leads the entire MLB. They have a 7-game lead over the Chicago Cubs, who, as I said, are right now winning 19-2 over the Mariners. The Cardinals have a perfect 566-66 record right now. They're third there, while the Pirates and Reds lag behind. The NL West, the Dodgers, 80 wins, Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Max. Hold up, he's slipping my mind. Max Muncy, all those guys, insane hitting room. That team is cheating, bro. Padres 9 games behind them, while the Diamondbacks, Giants, and Rockies lag behind. The Giants have the worst record in the entire MLB at a 50-80 record currently, and they had the worst record last year. They have one less loss than the Athletics, though. So we'll see how the MLB goes. As for the Yankees, they had a lot of injury problems. I think they just put Max Fried on the IL. So we'll see what happens as we reach the tail end of the regular season. Excited for the postseason. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, I think that's going to conclude the first episode we have of the interval. I'm very excited to see how this turns out. I'm happy with how this has gone. I had a lot of fun with this new mic, especially. And I gotta say, thanks to a friend of mine that gave me this mic. I really appreciate it. He big, and he a dog. He a big dog. So I'm very happy with how this has gone, and I'm very happy to do this episode with you guys. Hopefully, we can keep doing this more and more often. I want to do this every week, hopefully, maybe bi-weekly if stuff happens, because I got stuff going on in life happening in the next few weeks. We'll see what happens. I'm your boy Epic. If you haven't seen my normal videos, I do a lot of regular detailed story videos on many sports, just about random stories. The last video I made before this, and episode 0, of course, was the craziest soda battle in the NASCAR Soda Wars of the 2004 Pepsi 400. I also do videos on other sports like the NFL, MLB, and NBA, and NHL, and college football. Like the sports dynasties that never were was one of my more recent videos on the channel. If you guys want to check out that, make sure to check the channel page. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Make sure you press like, hit the hype button, subscribe if you haven't already, because like 95% of my viewers are not subscribed. I hope you guys like the first episode of The Interval. I keep forgetting the name, and I have to remember it in my brain. That's why I'm saying a pause. I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of The Interval, and I hope this can become a fun, regular thing to do on the channel. All right? I hope you guys like this video. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Go Knicks.